Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Habibah Febriyani. My ID number is D2019-6175. Okay, I made this video for completing my final exam of qualitative research method. Here I want to explain one of the 5 research design. But before that, I want to tell you the 5 types of research design. The first is narrative, and the second is phenomenology, and the third is ground theory, and the fourth is ethnography, and the fifth is case study. Narrative is any text that used in the context of qualitative research inquiry that focus on the stories that told by someone. A narrative can be method and also phenomenon of study. In a method, it begins with the expressed experience and told stories of someone. And narrative, also known as spoken or written text that have an account or action of series uh, that connect. And the procedures for implementing this research consist of focusing on studying one or more two persons and also collecting data through the collection of their stories, then reporting individual experience and make line of chronological to find the meaning of this experience. And the next is types of narrative study. The one approach to narrative research is to differentiate the types of narrative research by analytic strategies that used by the authors. An analysis of narrative is paradigm thinking to create description of themes that hold across that hold across the stories types and narrative analysis, which the researchers collect description of uh, the event, then configure into the story by using the storylines. And researchers can use paradigmatic reason for narrative study, such as how people active and constrained by social research, and also interactive performance, and how the narrator develop interpretation. And the second is to emphasize the variety of the types of form that found in narrative research practice. Biographical study is a form of narrative study which the researcher write and record the experience of other person's life. An autobiography is written and recorded by the individual or by someone who are the subject of the study. And life history describe the entire life of someone, while the personal experience story is narrative study of the personal experience that found in one or more episodes. Uh, and the oral history consists of collecting personal reflection on events and also the cause and effect of someone or several persons. And narrative studies may have a specific contextual focus, such as the teacher or children in the classroom, or stories that told about organization. And the last is procedures for conducting narrative research. There are 5 procedures for conducting narrative research. The first is determine if the research problem or question suitable with the narrative research. Narrative research is the best to capture or suitable to know the detailed stories or life experience of persons. And the second is select one or more individual who have stories or life experience and spend time with them with collecting their stories through multiple types of information. Uh, it refers to the stories as field text. The researchers, it means that the researchers, the research participant record their stories in journal or diary, or the researcher observe the individual and record field notes. And the researcher can also collect letters that sent by someone and then collect stories about someone from family members, such as collect documents or photos about the someone. And after that, the researcher record individual life experience. And the next is collect information about the context of these stories. And the researchers uh, put the individual or someone's stories with the participant in the participant's personal experience, and also their culture and their historical context. The next is analyze the participants' stories and their restory into a framework. Restoring is it means that the process of reorganizing the stories into some general types of framework. The framework consists of gathering stories, analyzing to the key elements of the story, such as time, place, and plot, and then rewriting the stories to chronological sequence. But sometimes when someone tells their story, they don't present them into the chronological sequence. Uh, the chronology of the narrative research uh, have or put the narrative apart from other genres of research. It means that chronology have the beginning, middle, and the end. That similar to the good novel, which has main character, conflict, protagonist, and etc. And the story might include other elements that found in the novel, such as time and place. So the qualitative data may be a description of the story and themes that appear from it. And last is collaborate with participants by involving them in the research. As the research collects stories, they uh, ask or make the relationship and provide ways to be useful to the participant. Uh, in narrative research, Keaton has the turn toward the relationship between the researchers and what will be researched. And the participant's story may also be interwoven story and add experience into her or his own life. In the end, the narrative study tells the story of someone's in chronology of their experience that set with the personal, social, historical context, and also include the important themes in the life experience. And the challenge of narrative approach based on the procedures and also the characteristic of narrative research challenging is challenging approach that may used by researcher. The researchers need collect extensive information, more information about the participant, and need to have a clear understanding of the context of the individual life. Uh, it it have it has to identify the particular of the stories and active collaboration with the participant. And researchers need to discuss the participant stories as well as reflective about their own personal and background, which how they restory the account and the event. Okay, maybe that's all my explanation about narrative approach. And the last I say, wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.